Hello gang, welcome back to Out of the Park Baseball 19, our Let's Play with the Chicago White Sox. Today we will be doing the American League Championship Series for 2022, and our opponent is the Houston Astros. So before we get Game 1 underway, I just thought we would check in on the Astros and just do a little bit of scouting, see who's on the team, who we have to worry about. As you can see right now, they were top of the West Division with 92 wins this past year. They appear to be a pretty well-rounded team. They are 5th in runs scored and 4th in runs against. Everything about them, seems to be above average. If anything's a little bit weak, it's their defense. One thing that immediately does strike my eye is the fact that Carlos Correa is out of the lineup right now for the next 2 to 3 weeks. So that's, kind of a good break for us. And also they do have some starting pitchers who are, could potentially miss this series or at least the first couple games. So we're looking through the lineup right here. They have Altuve hitting leadoff. His ratings are starting to come a bit down. He's 32 years old, but he's still a very good hitter. Kyle Tucker in the 2 spot. He looks to be kind of nasty. Derek Fisher had a pretty good season this year. It looks like he had 3 wins. Machado is their cleanup hitter, so they do have Machado, who is now 30 and still playing pretty solid. It looks like they'll have him for through 2025, it looks like. Yordan Alvarez is up next. He is a pretty big power hitter for them. It looks like he slugged 500 this past year. Then there's DJ Peters, who looks pretty solid too. Victor Reyes, the former member of the Chicago White Sox, he is actually their starting center fielder for this playoffs, which is interesting. He started only 55 games for them. Spent more of the year in AAA, but he's still hanging around. Blake Swihart is their catcher, and then this guy is their Jonathan, I don't know how to say that last name. Not particularly impressive, but played well for them, and looks like, hit okay, 94 OPS plus, but the defense maybe not quite there. And then you look at the rotation, they are going to be throwing out Luke Weaver, Forrest Whitley, Garrett Cole, Joseph Charles against us. So, weaker than if they had, this guy Paulino maybe. And, they're certainly going to miss Correa as well. But the bullpen looks pretty solid to me. They have some guys that, had bad years, but they have really solid guys you could trust, which is key in the playoffs for those intense moments. They have Riley Farrell and Yandel Gustave, so should be a pretty good matchup. The Astros are certainly not a team of slouches, so let's go ahead and check out those Game 1 lineups. Here are your Game 1 lineups. It appears to be, in the same order that we just looked at, so that's fine. We will be going against Luke Weaver, who has pitched pretty poorly against the White Sox this year, although, that might only be one start, so tough to say. And then Jorge Ruiz has thrown a couple games against Houston as well. He's fared better, I would say. So, yes, let's go ahead and get this game going, and welcome to the ALCS. It is Jose Altuve to lead off against Jorge Ruiz in the top of the first. And it's going to begin with a ground out to third. Kyle Tucker now the second hitter. He has hit it pretty far. That is going to be a double, it looks like. So early threat right here for the Astros with 1 out. Derek Fisher at the plate. Fisher is going to ground out to the pitcher, so that will advance the runner. So now with 2 outs, it's Manny Machado. Runner on third. Let's see if we can get out of this inning. Machado hits it pretty good, but that's going to be caught. A sliding catch by Rutherford, so we get out of the inning there. Scoreless. And Machado will strike out, so that is the end of the first inning. Each team has collected 1 hit, but no runs. Ruiz facing Reyes now after 2 quick strikeouts. Reyes hits it high and deep, but it looks like that will stay in the park. Yes, it will. That is caught by Rutherford near the warning track, so that gets us out of the top of the second. 2 outs now in the top of the third, and that brings up Altuve with no runners on. He will send a single through the infield, and that will bring up Kyle Tucker next. That is going to be a passed ball or a wild pitch, it looks like, so that moves Altuve into scoring position. So Still 2 outs facing Tucker. Tucker hits it high and deep, but that is going to stay in the park, it looks like. Tracked down by Hap. No harm, no foul, you know. We are through the top of the third, still scoreless. Fast forward to the top of the fifth, a real pitcher duel going on now. It's just 3 hits between the two teams, and it's Rees facing off against DJ Peters to start the fifth. 2 outs here. Victor Reyes is on base with the shortstop Jonathan, I'm just going to call him Jonathan, at the plate. And he strikes out, so we are through and to the bottom of the fifth now. And now it is Eloy Jimenez. He will walk, so just the second base runner today for the White Sox. And that will bring up Willie Calhoun with 2 outs in the bottom of the fifth. He is going to, that will be cut off by the second baseman. And just like that, the fifth inning is over, still scoreless. That is well struck by Altuve. Is that going to be a single or a double? And that will be a double for Altuve. With that in mind, I am going to get a reliever warming up. I have to decide who I want that to be. Okay, runner in scoring position, no outs. Facing Kyle Tucker now. That's going to be a check swing strikeout. Now it is Derek Fisher. That is also going to be a check swing strikeout. So can we get out of this against Machado? That is the question. That will be a walk. That gives us runners on first and second, still with 2 outs, facing Yordan Alvarez. And Alvarez is going to pop up in the infield. So excellent job getting out of that early double by Rees. Score still 0-0. Shea Langoliers is aboard with just our second hit of the day in the bottom of the sixth. Now it is Blaze Alexander hoping to capitalize. And he gets hit by a pitch. I suppose that's capitalizing one way or another. So that gives us runners on first and second. And they will thankfully go to a new pitcher now. That is Joey Lucchesi. Their starter was doing quite well. I can't remember his name, I'm sorry, but he was pitching quite the gem, but his pitch count was being brought up. So new pitcher now in for Houston, and he faces off against Rutherford. Rutherford is going to pop it up in the infield, so that is the first out of the inning. Now it is Ian Happ's turn. Ian Happ is going to send that one through the middle, and that is going to score the runner from second. So we have the first run of the ALCS, and it is now 1-0. Runners on first and second now for Yohan Moncada, still 1 out. Moncada strikes out. So just like that, there's now 2 outs for Arenado, who is very dangerous against lefties. And he hits that one all right, but it's going to be just a lazy pop-up to right field. So that ends the inning. 1-0, your current score through 6. Rees has pitched 98 innings. I'm sorry, he has not pitched 98 innings. He has pitched 98 pitches today. That is enough for him. It's been quite an amazing performance. 8 strikeouts, 1 walk, 4 hits. No runs over 6. Now we turn the keys over to Alcantara. Hopefully he continues this scoreless streak. So facing off against Peters to start the 7th. And Peters will send that for an early hit. That is a single to right field. Now it's Victor Reyes at the plate. And that ball pops free, so that's going to send the runner to second base. With that in mind, I'm going to now get Dylan Tate warming up because I don't like how Alcantara has handled this early stages of his appearance. So still facing off against Reyes. That will be a strikeout, so that's good. Now it's Blake Swihart. Swihart is going to send that to the second baseman, Moncada, who fields it cleanly. So with 2 outs facing off against Jonathan, can we get out of this inning with the runner on third? Jonathan hits it high and deep. It's going to be a very close play, it looks like. But that will stay in the park. Tracked down by Happ at the warning track, so we are through to the bottom of the 7th. Still a 1-run game. That is going to be sent up the middle for a hit. So that puts 2 runners on now with 2 outs. Can we get a rally here? Let's see with Blaze Alexander. Alexander will now send that pitch up the middle. Will that score the runner from second? Yes, it will. Sheets hustling. And he is safe. A very close play at the plate, but he's safe. So nice little 2-out rally there. White Sox add another run, and Blake Rutherford with a chance for some more, but he strikes out. So White Sox double their lead to 2, and we head to the 8th. Alcantara has pitched, decent today, I feel like, but what I'm going to do now is pull him for Alexander, just because we have a couple, 3 out of the next 4 hitters are lefties, and we are certainly in an intense situation right now, trying to protect this small lead. So what I'm going to do right now is change the pitcher and bring in Alexander, and hopefully he can get us through this inning as we, are facing the heart of the order for the Astros. So Alexander facing off against Tucker with 1 out. That's going to be a walk, unfortunately, so now he will face off against Fisher. That's a strikeout, and that leaves Machado now with 2 outs in the top of the 8th. And that is going to be a strikeout, so excellently done by Scott Alexander. We head to the bottom of the 8th now. 2 quick outs here in the bottom of the 8th, so that leaves us with Nolan Arenado. Ooh, and he hits that. Oh, wow, he really got a piece of that one. That's going to be a long home run, it looks like. Wow, he crushed that pitch. Oh boy, 441 feet. So the extra insurance run is certainly appreciated. That makes the score 3-0. Now it's Gavin Sheets' turn. He will strike out. So with a 3-run lead now, we will try to close this game out in the 9th. I am going to leave Alexander on the mound to face Alvarez, the lefty. That's going to be a quick strikeout. Now that brings up Dylan Peters. And he is going to pop up to left field, that looks like. So Jimenez moving under it. He's tracked it down. And we're going to let Alexander stay on here and see if he can get Victor Reyes with the final out. And it looks like he will. That's gone to Moncada. And just like that, a tight match all the way through, but great pitching prevails for the White Sox, who shut out the Astros. Your final score, 3-0 in Game 1. And a good start for us in this series, for sure. Here we are at the Game 2 lineup screen now. Their lineup appears to change a bit, just in terms of the ordering. It's the same players, so they will be facing off against the lefty Nick Wells. And to correspond with that, it's interesting they've actually moved Kyle Tucker up to leadoff, which surprises me a bit, considering the lefty-lefty matchup. Derek Fisher moves down. That doesn't surprise me. Forrest Whitley is on the mound for the Astros. He is a pretty big pitching prospect in real life right now. Hopefully not in relief. And yes, we'll have the aforementioned Nick Wells on the mound, who pitched extremely well all season for us. And same lineup that we've been going with against the right-handed pitching. So let's get Game 2 going, shall we? It will be Kyle Tucker leading things off against our Nick Wells in the top of the 1st. And the game will begin with a strikeout. So good start there for the White Sox. Now it is Jose Altuve. Jose Altuve, he hits at Oppo, and that looks like it will be a home run. So Altuve opening up the scoring here in Chicago. And that is a 1-0 lead for Houston. 2 outs here in the top of the 2nd. Wells facing off against Jonathan, the shortstop, and he is going to send that ball to second baseman, and that's an easy 1-2-3 inning for Wells after a rough first inning, so hopefully that is a sign of things to come in this game. Yoan Moncada right now leading off the bottom of the 2nd. On the 3-1 pitch, he will be Chicago's first base runner of the game, and that's going to bring up Nolan Arenado. Nolan Arenado now sends it to the third baseman Machado, and that is going to be a double play, unfortunately. That brings up Gavin Sheets now with 2 outs, nobody on. Ooh, and Gavin Sheets, he gets a piece of that one. Will it stay in the park? No, it won't. There's a home run right there. Shame. It could have been a 3-run home run if not for that previous double play, but Chicago's able to tie things up pretty easily here in the 2nd. Eloy Jimenez now, bottom of the 2nd with 2 outs. He's going to strike out, so that will be the end of the 2nd. Tie game now. 2 outs here in the top of the 4th. Wells facing off against Reyes with no runners on. And Reyes is going to ground out to Gavin Sheets, and we are through to the bottom of the 4th inning, still tied. Ian Happ now to lead things off in the bottom of the 4th. He will walk, so that's a good start for Chicago. That brings up Moncada to the plate. Moncada will send a single straight up the middle. So 2 runners on early in the bottom of the 4th here for Chicago. Arenado's turn. Arenado is going to ground out into yet another double play, folks. So that brings us with a runner on 3rd, 2 outs for Gavin Sheets. And Sheets, once again, he has come up big for us this game, and he hits a 2-out double here. Excellent job by him. He'd hit the home run earlier, so now it's Jimenez's turn. Score is now 2-1, and Jimenez strikes out. So Gavin Sheets drives in yet another run, and the score is 2-1 through 4 innings. That leaves us with runners on the corners with just 1 out. I have decided to get Freddie Peralta going in the bullpen, but it is Wells to face off against the ever-dangerous Altuve. And hopefully that is a double play. We'll see. Can we turn it? No, we can't quite, so that is going to score the go-ahead run. 3-2 game here. Wells facing off against Peters now, and that is going to be a single for Peters. So, real tricky inning for Wells. I have to decide whether I want to let him face Machado or not, and I think the answer is honestly not. I'm going to yank early here. So, Peralta comes in now in the top of the 5th inning to face Machado, and we'll see if he can get out of this jam. And he will, with a strikeout. So, 3-2 your score, going to the bottom of the 5th. Fisher is going to send that through for a single. So who will that bring to the plate? That will bring up Swihart. Swihart, he hits it opposite field. Is that going to stay in the park? Yes, it will. Sliding catch by Jimenez at the wall. 3-2, still your score. Bottom of the 7th here. Forrest Whitley's day is over, so it is John Palufo now to face off against the scorching hot Gavin Sheets. And that is going to be an opening walk on 4 pitches, so that brings up Eloy Jimenez. Jimenez, it looks like, has hit into a fielder's choice, actually, so that sends the runner to 2nd. And new pitcher Joey Lucchesi, who we saw last game, to face Calhoun. That is going to be a check swing strikeout. And now they bring in Riley Farrell to face Langoliers, so playing these righty-lefty matchups. Fortunately, he will walk Langoliers, so 2 runners on here for Blaze Alexander. And that is going to be a passed ball, so runners on 2nd and 3rd, just like that. We could really use a clutch hit here from Blaze. And unfortunately, we're not going to get it. So, score still 3-2. We head to the 8th. Clark here to pitch the 8th inning. Leading off will be Peters. Peters is going to send that one for what appears to be a home run. So that extends their lead to 4-2. And Peters really got a hold of that one. So now it's Clark to face Machado. That is going to be a strikeout. Now Clark will face Alvarez. That will be a walk. I'm going to bring in Dylan Tate now to face off against Reyes. That makes the situation top of the 8th, runner on 1st, 1 out, facing Reyes. That will be a wild pitch. Reyes advances to 2nd. Top of the 8th here, 1 out now. Dylan Tate, new on the mound, facing Victor Reyes. Reyes is going to ground out to 2nd there. That will advance the runner to 3rd base, so now it's all up to Fisher. Can we get out of this inning against the Astros is the question. And the answer is no. Fisher will send that ball to the wall, so that's going to be a double, nearly a home run, and that is going to score another run for Houston. So Tate now facing off against Swihart, who will strike out, but very unfortunate inning there. The score is now 5-2, and it's going to be Yandel Gustave to open things up, facing Blake Rutherford in the bottom of the 8th. And he pelts Rutherford, who looked injured, but he can stay in the game. So now it's Ian Happ. Ian Happ is going to pop up in the infield. Moncada now facing Gustave with 1 out. He will line out on the 3-1 pitch. That makes the situation 2 outs, bottom of the 8th. Facing Gustave is Arenado. Runner is on 1st. and that's going to be a strikeout. So just like that, we're through to the top of the ninth, trailing by 3 still. Bottom of the ninth here, Gavin Sheets to lead things off. The Astros are electing to keep Gustave on the mound. Why not? He's pitched well so far. So let's see how this first at bat goes. That's going to be a 4-pitch walk right there. So they are going to bring in Brad Roney to face Eloy Jimenez. Jimenez is going to strike out, so that's the first out of the inning. Roney now facing off against Willie Calhoun. And that is going to be a strikeout. So 2 quick strikeouts for Roney. We are down to our last out, unfortunately, and that is Shea Langeliers. Shea Langeliers hits the ball pretty well, but it's not going to drop in. Fisher makes the catch, and just like that, the series is tied. Houston win this game 5-2. The White Sox are only able to muster up 4 hits, so that's a pretty poor performance. I mean, pretty much everyone was bad today except for Gavin Sheets. So, the series, hopefully we can, get back on the right track in Game 3. Here is your Game 3 lineup screen. It will be James Paxton on the mound for us, facing off against Garrett Cole, 2 guys who are, even in 2018, extremely good pitchers for today's MLB. So an exciting matchup, and we will see who the victor is. With 1 out here in the top of the first, I'm going to test Blake Swihart's arm, which is not something we've done. So I'm going to try to steal second here with Rutherford. Rutherford takes off, and that is going to be no throw, so a free base for us. So that makes the situation 1 out, facing off against Ian Happ. Ian Happ, he has maybe made our stolen base obsolete, and he absolutely has. Ian Happ had been in such a cold streak before that, but he breaks this game open early in the first. White Sox lead 2-0. That's a strikeout for Paxton. Paxton now facing Altuve. That is also a strikeout. And now Paxton facing Peters. And that is going to be a pop-out, shallow one, to right field. So great opening inning for Paxton. We move on to the second. Ian Happ here, our home run hero already, with 2 outs in the top of the third. He is going to have his second hit of the day, so nicely done by Happ, using all fields to do it. And now it's Moncada with 2 outs. Moncada now, he hits it into the shift, so that is going to end the top of the third. Still 2-0. Big matchup here, Paxton versus Altuve in the bottom of the third with 2 outs. Paxton is going to come out on top, it looks like, so that sends us to the fourth. Score still 2-0. Uneventful couple innings, so we are now in the bottom of the fifth. Paxton facing Reyes with no outs. That is going to be a ground out on a 3-1 pitch. Now it is Fisher's turn. Fisher sends that single straight up the middle, very well struck by him. So runner already on base with 1 out. Paxton facing Swihart now. Swihart knuckles that one off. It's a diving play made by Sheets. Was not able to make the double play, but he does make that play nicely. So that makes it a runner on second with 2 outs facing off against Jonathan. Jonathan is going to hit that to the shortstop Alexander, who makes the play. Just like that, we are through 5. Score is still 2-0. Top of the 7th, 2 outs. Garrett Cole only at 80 pitches, and he's facing off against Jimenez with no runners on. Jimenez does hit that ball pretty well, but it's tracked down by Fisher, so we are on to the bottom of the 7th. Speaking of low pitch counts, Paxton himself only has 72 right now to open the 7th, and he faces Alvarez. Alvarez is going to knuckle that pitch off, but Jimenez tracks it down. Paxton now facing Reyes. Reyes is going to ground out to first base. And just like that, a quick 2 outs. Paxton now against Fisher. And Fisher, very similar to what Alvarez did, he pops up to Jimenez. So both pitchers still in the game through the first 7 innings, and the score is 2-0. Top of the 8th now, and the Astros have taken out Cole, and it's going to be Riley Farrell here to face Willie Calhoun. So just like that, with 2 outs, it is Blaze Alexander. Alexander sends a nice single up the middle there. I think I am going to once again try to steal second, but first let me get a pitcher warming up in the bullpen. I think that would be a good idea. I'm going to make that Scott Alexander. Let us try to see if we can steal second here with Blaze Alexander, the other Alexander. Okay, low for ball 1 here. We try to steal again. And yeah, so 1-1 count right here. I'm going to try to steal one more time, and if I can't get it, we'll just see what happens. Alexander is off, and he is safe at second, so it'll be the 1-2 pitch here for Rutherford. Rutherford sends that to the gap. Will it get down? Not quite. So that ends the top of the 8th. We are now to the bottom of the inning. James Paxton here in the bottom of the 8th, and we're going to trust him to at least get this inning started. He's only thrown 79 pitches, so leading things off against Swihart. Nicely done. And now Paxton facing off against Altuve with 2 outs. Altuve is going to rip that one to the shortstop, and that is going to be the end of the 8th inning. So a real gem for Paxton for sure. I don't know if he pitches the 9th, but an excellent performance for him. They will bring in Gustave to face Gavin Sheets with 2 runners on and 1 out. And Sheets hits it pretty well, but straight to center field. So with 2 outs, it is Jimenez. Jimenez hits that one pretty well as well, but the left fielder was in position, and we are on to the bottom of the 9th, just 3 outs away from a Game 3 victory. At just 89 pitches, I am going to leave Paxton in, at least to face DJ Peters here. And that is going to be a pop-out. That is caught by Langoliers. Now Paxton facing Machado. And that is going to be a ground out to second base. So, how many pitches is he at? 95 pitches here. So, if Paxton can get Alvarez out in the next 4 pitches, he will have himself a Maddox. A Maddox is a complete game shutout with under 100 pitches. Let's see if he can do it. And that is going to be a ground out to Alvarez on the first pitch. So just like that, James Paxton with probably the best performance we've seen from any player this postseason, much less any pitcher. James Paxton right here, 96 pitches, 6 hits, 5 strikeouts, complete game shutout. That's an 80 game score, and he's able to outduel Garrett Cole, who had a brilliant game as well. So that is an immense performance from James Paxton right there. We were only able to score from that first inning home run, so Paxton is certainly a hero for that one. And we take the series lead 2-1. So gang, we are now in preparation for Game 4. The White Sox lead the series 2-1. As you can see, we are going to be starting Adbert Alzolay on the mound against their Joseph Charles. And Charles only a 1.5 star rated starting pitcher. That's kind of interesting, but actually his ratings look solid enough to me, so we'll see about him. I'm recording this Game 4 right here about 2 days after I recorded Game 3 in terms of real time, so just trying to sort of refamiliarize myself with the lineup, but everything looks still pretty normal as far as what they've been starting against us, and obviously I know we've been using the same lineup every time, so we're just going to go forwards with this Game 4 in Houston, and hopefully we can win this and take a very convincing 3-1 lead. Top of the first here, it'll be Blaze Alexander to lead the game off against Joseph Charles. And that is an early walk, so a good start for us. That brings up Blake Rutherford to the plate. Blake Rutherford gets a good piece of this one. We'll see. It's out of here, so just like that. Pretty much the fastest 2-0 lead you could imagine, and I'm pretty sure this is how Game 3 started as well. I might be wrong on that, but I feel like Rutherford also hit a 2-run home run in the first inning. So if you have a sense of deja vu, I don't blame you. So that's going to bring up Ian Happ to the plate with no outs. He's going to get pegged. Oh, and there's a brawl. So we'll see what the outcome of that is. It looks like Happ has been tossed from the game. Don't like that. Don't like that at all. So that gives us, Maciel a chance to be inserted into the lineup. Yeah, he's been tossed. That's not good, because that means he's gonna, potentially face a multiple game suspension, and we only have 4 outfielders. Well, I guess 5 if you include Calhoun. And they have a new pitcher as well, so it looks like both players ended up being ejected there. So here comes Joey Lucchesi, who I feel like has pitched in almost every game to face off against Moncada. Ooh, Moncada gets a good piece of this one too. Yeah, Lucchesi was brought in cold, so Man, there's another 2-run home run for y'all, and we extend our lead to 4-0, just like that. Still no outs in this game. So now here comes Arenado. You gotta be kidding me, man. We are just unstoppable in this first inning right here. And 5-0. Is that back? No, it's not back-to-back-to-back. That's just back-to-back. But man, what a crazy start to this game this has been. This guy's clearly been brought in cold. He's probably gassed, too. And it's Gavin Sheets now who walks. So still no outs so far. New pitcher brought in, Brad Roney. Jimenez walks. They still haven't managed an entire out. We're at the 8th hitter in the lineup. Still no outs, and it's Willie Calhoun to face Roney. And finally, oh, I was going to say that's the first out, but it's not. It's an error at first, so that loads the bases. This is the craziest first inning ever. Langoliers now. Langoliers gets pelted, so that's going to send in a run. 6-0 your score, and now here's Blaze Alexander, who led things off. And he hits this one to the gap, so that's going to score at least 2. Yes, 2 runners score on that double. Your score is now what, 8-0? Blake Rutherford now up. He is going to finally record the first out, a soft ground out to the pitcher. Now here's Maciel for his first plate appearance of the postseason. And he will line out to the center fielder. Runner tags, and he will score. So that makes the score 9-0 here in the first inning on only 4 hits, mind you. So yes, Moncada now with 2 outs, and he strikes out. So that's the end of the first inning. Guys, I don't know, you know, this may be, in terms of the video, a very short game because I don't want to, you know, bore people. So clearly we're at a 9-0 lead, and as long as that lead kind of holds, I think we'll probably skip through this game pretty quickly, just show off a few key moments, because the game as it stands right now is not competitive. So we'll see where we go from there editing-wise, but I'm just letting you guys know that's kind of my thinking. So let's move on. Bottom of the first inning here, and it is Adbert to face Altuve. And he pegs him. Okay, that's a bad start, I would say. Now it's Adbert to face Tucker, who strikes out. Now Adbert is facing Fisher. Jose Altuve was going to run there, but he thought against it. Do we go for a pitch out here? Is that the play? I guess not. No, he's running again. I guess we should have gone for the pitch out. Yeah, because that's going to be a throwing error right there. Ball goes to center. Altuve reaches third. I didn't want to do a pitch out there because I wasn't sure if he tried again. Okay, so runner on third. Runner on third here in the bottom of the first. Fisher at the plate. Altuve on third. And Fisher does get a good piece of this one. And that looks like it's going to drop in for a double here. Or it could be a triple. Yes, Fisher's going to leg this one out for a triple. So an early run here for Houston. They're going to need quite a few more. But that's going to bring up Manny Machado. Machado does get a good piece of this one as well. So the offense is going kind of crazy in this game. 3-0. Now your score. Sorry, not 3-0. 9-3. My thinking right here is I'm just going to get someone warming up because I don't want to see this lead go to waste. And we have the long relief guys to sort of bullpen this game out. Clearly Adbert does not have it, at least in this first inning. So we're going to let Adbert face Alvarez right here. And Alvarez is going to also... This is the weirdest first inning ever, dude. It's almost like the settings have just gotten fucked up for the offense and no one can get a single out. Adbert just... He says he feels good, but I mean, this guy just doesn't have it right now, and neither starting pitcher did. Neither pitching staff seemingly does. So we're going to bring in Deason here to face off against Peters. But the Deason will get the strikeout of Swihart, but your score is 9-4 through the first inning in this game 4. Bottom of the second here, it's Deason to start things off against Jonathan, the shortstop. That is going to be a single up the middle. Now Tucker gets a good piece of this one. That is right to the right fielder, Maciel. Runner does not tag, so with 2 outs, that brings up Fisher. Fisher is going to send this one to the first baseman, who fields it cleanly. And just like that, we are through 2. Score still 9-4. So top of the third here, 2 runners on, 1 out. Gabriel Maciel. He is going to walk. So that loads the bases with 1 out, and what we really would like is some runs and not a double play, so it's Moncada. Moncada does hit this one pretty well. It looks like a runner might be able to tag. Yes, he will. A diving play from the left fielder. That's going to allow Langoliers to tag, even though he's not particularly fast. So 10-4 your score now. 2 outs for Arenado. Arenado gets a good piece of this one. That's going to be towards the wall. A home run. A laser home run here in the top of the third. Makes the score 13-4. So pretty outrageous game so far. That brings up Gavin Sheets with 2 outs. Gavin Sheets is going to send this one to the gap. This could actually be a triple. He's not very fast, though, so it's only going to be a double. If you're faster, it definitely could be a triple. But so that brings in Christian Jones to face Jimenez. 2 outs. And that's a strikeout. So that ends your third inning. I mean, I don't know what to say about this game. I'm honestly at a loss for words. Okay, so Langoliers is going to ground out to the third baseman. That's going to send us to the bottom of the 9th inning. 13-5 your score. We have Dylan Tate still on the mound to pitch the 9th inning. He faces Jonathan first. It is going to be a ground out to the shortstop. Nice job by Alexander. Next up is Altuve. Altuve is going to pop up to the left fielder Jimenez. Jimenez under it. He's got it. So just like that, Houston 1 out away from losing this game 4. And it's a strikeout for Tucker. So just like that, 13-5 your final score, and Chicago take a commanding 3-1 series lead. So, that was an interesting game for sure. Pretty much all the scoring done in the first couple innings. But yes, I will see you guys for game 5. Yes, game 5. And hopefully we'll be able to close it out. Here is a quick look at your box score. It'll take a little more time just because you guys didn't see the majority of this game. But, 13 runs on 10 hits. All those errors early on were weird, too. It was just a weird game. Your pitching line score, probably the most important thing, but Deason gets the win. Adams, Tate, I mean, those guys combined to pitch basically the whole game. Adler only got 1 out, and they allowed only 1 earned run combined. So really good showing from our bullpen once we got Adler out of there. Sometimes you just don't have it, and the right move is just to, yank the pitcher early in that case, especially, in something as crucial as the playoffs. I guess now we'll check in on the Ian Happ news. Okay, so Ian Happ appears not to have any sort of suspension due to the brawl that he started after getting pelted in the first inning. So that's good. So now let us move on to Game 5. Here are your Game 5 lineups. It'll be, a battle of the 2 aces once again. So it's Ruiz versus Weaver, just like it was in Game 1. And yes, we are still in Houston after this. If the series goes further, we will move back to Chicago. But hopefully we can close out this series here in Houston and clinch our first World Series berth ever since this Let's Play started. So let's do it. It is Blaze Alexander to lead things off against Luke Weaver here in the first inning in Minute Maid Park. Is it still called Minute Maid Park? I think so. That might not be true. Oh yeah, it is. I see it on the dugouts. Ian Happ looks like he's popped out here to the center fielder. Yes, diving play by the center fielder Reyes. 1-2-3 inning for Weaver here, and we move to the bottom of the first where it's Ruiz to face Altuve. Altuve leading things off here, grounds out to Alexander. Next up is Tucker, who strikes out, and then it is Derek Fisher with 2 outs, who also strikes out. So, after last game, weird to see, both starting pitchers do well. So now we move on to the second inning, just like that. Bottom of the second here, 2 outs. Ruiz facing Peters now. That's going to be a sharp ground out, but Peters will reach. So that is the first hit of the ball game, also the first base runner for either team. So now it is Ruiz facing Reyes. Reyes looks like he's going to single off this one as well. Runner will advance to third. So that gives us runners on the corners, not us runners on the corners. It gives them runners on the corners with Swihart at the plate. Can we get out of this inning? Swihart hits this one pretty well, but straight to the left fielder Jimenez. No harm done. Your score still 0-0 through 2. Ooh, Calhoun here in the top of the third has himself a double with 1 out, so hopefully we can generate a run from that. He's been pretty cold so far this series, so Runner in scoring position for Shea Langoliers. Langoliers hits this one pretty well too. Calhoun is not fast, so he will hold up at third. And that's going to bring up Blaze Alexander here with runners on the corners and 1 out. He's going to walk, so that's going to load the bases with 1 out here in the top of the third for Blake Rutherford. Blake Rutherford has himself a single. That's only going to score 1 run. We can actually try to score a second here. I'm going to hold, actually. I'm going to hold. That brings up Ian Happ to the plate with the bases loaded and 1 out. Ian Happ, well, it was probably right to hold. He sends this one to the gap, so now we've got ourselves a little rally here in the top of the third. That's going to score 2 more runs, and that makes your score 3-0. Runner's still on second and third, and still just 1 out. So Moncada, he's going to send this one down the first base line. No run scores. So with 2 outs now, it's up to Arenado. Arenado hits this one pretty well, but it's going to be caught at the warning track. That ends the top of the third, but Chicago score 3. Bottom of the 5th here with 1 out. Houston have a run scoring opportunity with Reyes on second. It's Ruiz to face Swihart, the catcher. That is going to be a strikeout. Big time strikeout there, and now Ruiz faces Jonathan. Jonathan gets a big piece of this one. This looks like it may get out of here. It's to the deepest part of the park. Nope. Caught by Rutherford at the wall. So your score is still 3-0 through 5 innings. Jimenez here with 2 outs. He has hit himself a laser beam double. So this could be another run scoring opportunity for Chicago. That brings up Calhoun. Calhoun looks like he has popped out there to the left fielder. So your score is still 3-0. Here we are in the bottom of the 6th. A throwing error by Blaze Alexander has given Altuve second base already. So we start things off against Tucker. Tucker gets a real piece of this one, and that looks like it's going to be a 2-run home run for Houston. They cut our White Sox lead down to 1, and it's now Ruiz to face Fisher with no outs. Fisher grounds out to the first baseman. Next up is Manny Machado. Machado grounds out to the third baseman, Arenado. And that brings up Alvarez. Alvarez is going to pop out to Jimenez. So that ends your 6th inning. Score now 3-2. So with 2 outs, that brings up to the plate Ian Happ, and the Astros electing to go with Garrett Cole in this situation. That's certainly interesting, but it is an elimination game. Desperation. So first and second right now after that Ian Happ single. Moncada facing Garrett Cole. Moncada, he sends this one to the gap. That's going to score at least 1 runner. Could score Happ as well. Yes, Happ will come home. That's going to be a triple for Yohan Moncada, and a big one at that. That extends the lead to 5-2. Cole now facing off against Arenado here. And Arenado hits this one pretty well, but it looks like that's going to be caught by the center fielder. Yes, it is. Victor Reyes has it. Your score now 5-2, moving to the bottom of the 7th. Here in the bottom of the 7th, we are going to be sticking with Ruiz. He's been very efficient with his pitch counts and has only really made 1 mistake on that home run. So he faces Peters. Peters is going to ground out to the first baseman, Gavin Sheets. And then, so that's going to bring up Swihart with 2 outs. Swihart cracks this one to the third baseman. Well played by Arenado. 5-2, still your score, headed into the 8th. Shea Langoliers here in the 9th inning, leading things off with a double or a single, or I don't know. Thrown out at second, is that what this deal is? Yes. Okay, that's what happened there. Looked awkward, but that's what happened, so that's your first out in the top of the 9th. Blaze Alexander now is going to pop out to the center fielder, it looks like, yep. So with 2 away, it is Blake Rutherford facing Riley Farrell. Blake Rutherford does get a good piece of this one, but it looks like it still could be tracked down. Yes, at the warning track, caught by Reyes. So Chicago just need 3 more outs, and they will be moving on to the World Series. Okay, bottom of the 9th here. Ruiz at only 85 pitches. We're going to let him face off against Fisher. Fisher now has grounded out to the second baseman, Moncada. So only 2 outs away now. Ruiz facing Machado. Machado is going to send a single up the middle. Alright, so that is going to bring up Alvarez to the plate. Alvarez, ooh, it's to the shortstop. Can we get this double play? Yes, we've done it! Chicago White Sox, they're going to be going back to the World Series for the first time since 2005. And they break the hearts of the Houston Astros. 5-2 is your final score. Here is a quick look at your box score. It is a complete game for Jorge Ruiz. He only allows 1 earned run actually because of the error that allowed Altuve to get on base in the first place. 95 pitches, just an amazing start from him. Both him and Paxton with some immense starts here at the tail end of this series, and so complete game for him. And as you can see, Houston, Weaver wasn't he wasn't awful honestly, but just kind of fell apart there at one point. We had 11 hits, they only had 6, so amazing performance from our ace, Jorge Ruiz, and we will move on to the World Series. Now the question is, yes, we do get an achievement for that too. The question is, who will we be facing in the World Series? Let's find out, shall we? And it will be the Los Angeles Dodgers. Okay, so that's who we're going to be facing. Let me get a quick look at this playoff coverage right here, just so we can see how everything's gone. Yes, so as you can see, we defeated Cleveland 3-1. Astros, we beat them 4-1 after they beat the Yankees 3-0. Okay. Looking at the Dodgers' path here, they defeated the Braves and then the Marlins who were wildcard game winners, interestingly enough. So Dodgers defeated the Marlins 4-2 to get here, and it will be those two teams, Chicago versus LA, facing off against each other in the 2022 World Series. That will be for next episode, but until then, thank you guys for your support of the series, and I will see you guys in the World Series.